This may come as a surprise to you, but this next part actually starts the Seder meal. So we're going to need the pieces of matzah. Just take the bread and bless it. We praise you, O Lord, our God, who brings forth bread from the earth. So the Father at the table, if you'll take some matzah and distribute it to everybody at your table. And follow along in your guide. Let us all offer a blessing for the bread.
We praise you, O Lord our God, who has made us holy with your word and has commanded to eat unleavened bread.
Everybody just takes a little piece of matzah, bread. And eat up. It's now time for the maror, the horseradish. So, the leader of the table, Father, if you'll take the horseradish and pass it around, and everybody needs to put a little bit of this on their plate, enough for the next 2 actions. Just remember, kids, you might think this is funny. This stuff is really hot. So just be careful with how much you use of it.
I know.
You know that's way too much. All right, now if you'll follow along in your guide. With bitter herbs, let us remember how bitter slavery was in the land of Egypt. As we eat, let us allow the bitter taste to bring tears of compassion for the pain that our fathers and mothers felt long ago. But let us also weep for those who are still enslaved and have not yet experienced the deliverance that our gracious God brings. And let us weep for the bitterness of our own sin.
We praise you, O Lord our God, who has made us holy with your word and has commanded to eat bitter herbs.
So now everyone take a piece of your matzah and dip it in the horseradish. And remember, especially if you don't have water on the table right now, not to use too much, but enough to bring tears to your eyes. If it's been too hot for you, take another piece of bread. Wash it down. As we are reminded of the bitterness of our slavery, so too are we reminded of the hope that we have in the Lord. We will now begin to make the Halil sandwich by placing a small amount of maror on a piece of matzah. So you go ahead and break your bread in a half. And then on part of your maror, put the horseradish. So spread horseradish on part of it. Spread the horseradish. Spread some. Oh, you did, Brooke? And you can put that piece down that has the horseradish on it. Now's the fun part, the good part, the best parts. This is the haroset. The haroset is a mixture of apples, dates, honey, and nuts. It symbolizes the mixture of clay and straw that the Israelites used to make bricks for the cities of Pharaoh. But the apples of the mixture also remind us of something else. Apple trees set their fruit before the tree has leaves, and then the leaves grow around the fruit to protect it. Tradition tells us that in slavery in Egypt, the women of Israel gave birth to children under the trees of the orchard to try to avoid the decree of Pharaoh, with no assurance of their safety and future. That hope and a future from God sweetened the misery of their slavery. Often life is a mixture of the bitter and the sweet, of sadness and joy. So let us now add the sweetness of the haroset to the bitterness of the maror and remember the sweetness of Christ. So everyone take some haroset and put it on your maror. And then take the remaining piece of your bread and put it on top, and then we'll have a little sandwich. It's called the Halil, or the Hallel sandwich. So when you've made that, which is going to be so yummy, eat it.
I love this recipe. Thank you, Rosie. That's way better than in years past. So good. This is gonna take a minute.
Maybe we should do like the cooking shows. How they put it in the oven and it comes out baked immediately. Maybe we shouldn't eat our whole sandwich while people are watching.
Why don't we just eat most of it?
One more bite. There's a bite and one more. We're going to stop the video while you finish the sandwich.
I don't know.
It's too